Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, my question is for the Minister of Children and Women's Issues. We know that 1 in 3 women will experience sexual violence in their lifetime. Victims of sexual violence are getting younger and younger. The average age that a young woman is recruited by a human trafficker is just 13 years old. Speaker, I know that many sexual assault centres are on the front lines of the fight against human trafficking, including workers at Sexual Assault and Violence Intervention Services of Halton in my riding. Can the minister let this House know what is being done regarding the funding to sexual assault centres in the fight against human trafficking?
The Associate Minister for Children and Women's Issues.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you to the wonderful member from Burlington for that great question. Speaker, today I can announce that we are confirming $2 million in additional annualized funding for sexual assault centres across Ontario. On November 28th, I was honoured to join the Premier, the Solicitor General, and my colleagues as we announced Phase 1 of the government's human trafficking strategy. Phase 1 of the human trafficking strategy annualized $1.1 million in funding for sexual assault centres in Halton, Kenora, Sarnia, and Waterloo. But, Speaker, we know there are service gaps, and the previous government left a lot of communities underserved and their human trafficking funding. So I'll have more to say about our government strategy in the supplementary.
Supplementary question.
Speaker, back to the Minister of Children and Women's Issues. Thank you so much for that clear response. I know that our government takes human trafficking and all sexual violence seriously. That's why we announced $20 million in new analyzed funding for human trafficking, Speaker. But the minister is right. Not every community was served by the previous government's approach to fighting this disgusting crime. Can the minister explain how our government is taking further steps to help sexual assault centres in more communities fight human trafficking? Thanks, Speaker.
Minister to respond.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you again to the member for that great question. The member is right. We need to help more communities fight human trafficking. And under the leadership of Premier Ford, he has made it clear that we need to do more to support victims and stop this heinous crime. That's why, as part of the next steps we're taking as a government, we're annualizing an additional $1 million for the Community Supports Funds to help all sexual assault centres fight human trafficking. That brings our total new investment for sexual assault centres to over $2 million. Speaker, we know that we can always do more as a government, and we are committed to do just that.